Good afternoon, good evening, and all the above, guys. Sorry about that. Kind of caught me off guard here a little bit. The wife was texting me as we were going live. Got a very, very special live tonight. Everybody wants to know about the percentage board. So, guess what? We got one guy on here, Dan, down in the bottom corner. He's going to be our percentage guy. And I got two guys. We got Aaron Evans up at the top, Evans Transport. And we got Trucker Mike down at the bottom. These guys run the regular load board. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to kind of compare both sides, the rate per mile and the percentage, and we're going to do that in just 1 second. To get started here, let me introduce Aaron. He's first, Evans Transport. I don't know if you guys seen him on YouTube, but if you will, please go comment and go subscribe to his channel if you're not already. I want to make sure he gets some clicks. He does a very good job. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, and I'll put the floor to you, Evans. Just tell us a little bit about you.
I've got about 11 years experience. I've done everything from heavy haul to reefer to dry van. This is actually my, like I've stated on my channel, my fourth time around being a lease op, trying to be an owner op. I've done it with our sister company Knight, and then I've also done it with Wilson and then RTI. So, yeah, I mean, pretty simple.
Okay, Mike. Tell a little bit about
I'm
you.
Mike. I've been driving 15 years. This is my second stint at Swift. I trained through Swift in 2010. And then I kind of went and played all over the place. I've done oil-filled tanker. I've done refrigeration. The only thing I really haven't done is cars and livestock and tankers that go boom.
Tankers that go boom. I like that. All right. What about you, Dan?
So I've been driving about 4 years now, a little over 4 years now. Been flatbed, reefer, dry van. Had my own truck for a while. I know you and I talked about it a little bit. That thing just had too many problems. So here I am. I was leased on with Mercer before doing flatbed, and like I said, my truck was just in the shop like constantly. So found a better alternative here. Got me a brand new truck for not much more than what I was paying for my other truck. And so far, so good.
Good deal. Good deal. Again, I appreciate you guys coming on. Guys, I'm going to let the comments build up a little bit, but I'm going to talk about something here in just a second. But you guys got questions for Dan because he's the percentage guy. And again, we're going to go over stuff here in just a little bit. But if you got specific questions for Dan, anybody that's out here that wants to ask, please ask because he's only going to be with us for about 45 minutes or so. So what I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll get rolling, is any of you guys that are owner-operators and you need to get logos made up or you need to get logos put on your truck, get with me. I've got a person that another friend relayed me to, and I can help you guys out, and we can get that stuff done because my truck's going to be getting done here in the next couple of weeks. Got that out of the way. But again, contact me. Also, truck tickets, truck show tickets. If y'all need tickets, get with me. Send you the link so you can register. All right. First person we got on here is Michael Shepard. He became a YouTube member. I appreciate that, Michael Shepard, but I don't really do anything special for members. I don't ask for money from you guys. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that have different ways to ask for money, but that's not what my channel is about. But I do appreciate it, and I really honestly have no idea how that works. That's something that YouTube does. I didn't set that up. And we got Jonah in the house. Good evening. Chris is in the house. Just spoke to Chris a little while ago. And we got Roger Berry. Roger Berry always comes in. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. Everybody's doing good. Todd Packer's in the house. Hello. Nick Barker's in the house. Good evening. And Todd Packer, you're asking a question that's probably about 6-8 months too old. How come country and 19 wheels are no longer in here? I've answered that question many a times. Nothing to do with either one of those guys. As a matter of fact, I talked to one of them just the other day. As a matter of fact, but no beef with any of them. Just we're doing separate things. Trucker Q's in the house. Hey, buddy, I think I missed your comment. You were the very first person in here. I apologize, but Trucker Q's in the house. Chris says, hard to hear Mike. Mike, say something real quick.
Yeah, I just switched my headset.
Okay.
I didn't realize my input was set to my camera instead of my
Okay.
headset, so I just changed it. So hopefully this is a little better for you.
Now you're louder than shit. Just turn it back down. Now say something, Mike.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Much better. All right. Mike, lay off the Mountain Dew. Okay.
It's actually
Todd,
not Mountain Dew. It's red. It's actually Kool-Aid that is in a Mountain Dew bottle.
All right. Todd Packer, let's make it sensible tonight. I know you've been in here before and you've made some stupid comments. Make it sensible tonight, please. Okay. We got Trey in the house. What's up, guys? Just called this load from hell. I hear you, man. We all have some loads from hell. All right, so let's get this load board thing going, and we'll wait for some questions. Well, wait a minute. We got some questions here. Cadillac and things in the house. Michael Shepard says, what size tanks do the KWs have? I'm looking and grabbing one. 100 gallons on each side.
Yep.
The
The def tank's about 20 gallons too, at least on the newer ones.
Yeah. Trucker Q says, hey Dan, what is your weekly average and what seems to be going right when you've seen on the cent per mile on percentage? Trucker Q, we'll get into that in just a minute. And Cadillac. Awesome now. Okay. So Dan, let's go ahead and pull yours up. And Aaron, why don't you pull yours up too? Let's compare some loads. Well, first of all, Aaron, let's see what load you have. What area do you have? Where do you see loads at?
I'm still currently up in the Pacific Northwest. I'm heading to Colorado. There's one load in Washington right now, about 5 in Idaho where I will be in tomorrow. But where I'm delivering, there's 11 loads in Colorado. Colorado on the load board is always hot. There's always something there.
So let's look at Colorado, both you guys. Go ahead and pull Colorado up, and let's see. Aaron, just pick one load, and then we're gonna put that load number into Dan's. We're gonna compare and see if it's the same.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the same number of loads on the board because I had one up in Washington and I have the 11 in Colorado. So I think the number of loads is the same. It's just going to be different how we see them, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of them coming out of Golden, a lot of them coming out of Pueblo too. We'll just choose this. We'll just choose this.
Choose one load and let's just compare. Just get,
this one's going from Golden, Colorado to North Las Vegas. So,
now, do you have that load, Dan?
I've got a couple of them. Is it?
Picks up on the 12th through the 13th, delivers on the 16th.
Yep. All right, I got it.
Okay, so let's compare that. So, how many miles is it, Aaron?
They're saying 739 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And then 43,500 pounds. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about that. Let's do 739 loaded miles.
Loaded miles.
So let's do the dollar. How many miles? 739, $1.15 plus dollar. The fuel surcharge this week is 39 cents. 39 cents. That's going to be $1.54 a mile. Okay.
You got to add in that West Coast fuel surcharge too. It's a West Coast load.
West Coast only goes for Washington, California, and Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't count for Colorado. So times that by 739, that makes it $1,138.06. That's all in with fuel surcharge and everything. What's it paying you, Dan?
So my all-in rate on that one's $814.80. Is that right?
You go.
Holy crap!
That's not.
That's about $300 less than what the miles pay is. So.
All right. So
no,
Arizona.
Wait a minute. Are you adding the fuel surcharge on that 1100?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
So it sounds like that load's not getting the fuel surcharge.
Now,
Well-
if you can, seeing how you're on the load board, maybe you can answer this, because this is a question that's been that I've been wondering about it. With you being on the percentage, are you paid a fuel surcharge on those loads or no?
It's supposedly worked into it. We don't
Okay.
see what it is. So I'm coming out with at the 814. That's including my fuel surcharge. I'm getting $1.10 a mile for that load.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to Arizona. Arizona is usually a hot spot. Is there a bunch of loads in Arizona right now?
Yeah, there was about 14 earlier. Let's see.
Let's pick the same load in Arizona, and let's do the same thing.
About 6 that I'm showing right now in Arizona.
That's what I've got.
Really?
Too.
Yeah.
Let me see.
How many?
6.
How many do
Mine's
you show, Dan?
15.
All right, we'll try to pick the same load. Does it tell you
All
where
right,
they go?
let's see what we got here.
We can do the one right off the top, the Miami, Arizona, the Santa Maria, California, if we wanted.
Do you have that one, Dan?
Yeah, it's loading now. Give me 1 second. Miami to Santa Maria. Yep, picks up on the 13th, delivers on
All
the
right.
15th. Okay.
How many miles is that one, Aaron?
620.
Mm-hmm.
Times 620, you said, right?
Yeah.
So that's 954.80. What's it paying you, Dan?
So that one's paying me $1177.40.
Wow. Okay. So there really isn't any rhyme or reason to this. It just depends on what it is. All right.
Yeah.
So we've done that.
What was your note? How much did you come up with on that load? On the mileage? Because I'm showing 1101.
620 miles.
Total revenue. Yeah, 620 miles. What was your number you came up with that you had?
954.80.
Because with the fuel surcharge, I'm showing 1101.
No, it's $1.54 a mile with the fuel surcharge. It's 39 cents. Oh, you know what? What mileage rate are you doing? The $1.15 or what are you doing?
No, $1.19.
Okay. See, that's my problem there. Hold on.
Yeah, we're $1.19 on that load. I'm showing it with this fuel. Well, my fuel surcharge is off by a penny. I haven't adjusted.
979.60 is what it is. And you said it was how much, Dan?
I'm getting $1177.40.
So you're making almost $200 more than the other guys. So
Yeah,
let's
mine's
start
coming out to $1.89 a mile. But like I said, that's including fuel, so take 39 cents off that.
So Aaron, pick something over on the East Coast, will you?
All right.
Guys, we'll answer your all's questions in just a minute. I know all you got questions, so I just want to play with this for a little bit. This is the whole purpose of this YouTube. Just give me a minute. Trey,
the only thing I'm showing in the East Coast is this one load in Pennsylvania.
All right. You have that load too, Dan?
Let's see. I've got 7 in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So what do you got, Aaron? What load is it?
York to Harrisville, Missouri.
Let me see if I got that. All right, I've got that one.
All right. So how many miles is it, Aaron?
1,052.
Yep.
So that's going to be the $1.15 plus 0.39. That's $1.54. How much again did you say? How many miles was it you say, Aaron?
1052.
1,052.
It should be about 1730.
1620.08. What's it paying you, Dan?
1442.70.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason much to it, like you said. It's kind of all over.
It could be the fact because I was talking to Addison a little bit about the percentage. he was telling me it all depends on what's being hauled in that load. Everything is going to be different. Like with the percentage, what he was telling me is it depends on what that load is worth in the market value. So my guess is it's all depending on what you're hauling.
Yeah.
All right,
And
I banned Todd Packer because all he's doing is making stupid comments. I ain't got time for it. I don't want time for it. He's been banned on here before. He's not even a Swift driver, and he's talking that those are all shitty loads, and he does better. I'm not in here, guys, to float your all's egos. We're in here trying to figure out what makes sense for the Swift drivers, not because you make $1 million a mile, at XY Carrier or the Chicago companies. I don't give a shit. We're here doing what we do for our guys. So don't make any stupid comments about that. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
What was your revenue on that load, Dan?
That one was 1442.70.
Yeah, so he's had a couple that are paying more, a couple that are paying less.
Yeah.
What did your East Coast load board look like as far as loads? Do you have anything south of Pennsylvania? Because on ours, everything south of Pennsylvania, we've got one load, looks like in Georgia. Everything east of like Memphis is zero except for that one Pennsylvania.
Let's pull up that. Don't worry about all that. Let's pull up that Georgia load. Let's compare that.
Oh, I don't even have that. My load board says there's nothing there. So
Maybe that's
Are you serious?
14.
yeah.
Okay, Mike, try to pull that load up in Georgia.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Alabama, Decatur, Alabama.
You have that one, Aaron?
Yeah, I have one in Alabama.
Okay, pull that one up. Let's compare that one, and then we'll get to these comments.
I've got 6 in Alabama.
From Decatur to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Let me see. Pulling
How
up
many
here.
miles is that one?
455.
So what's the pay rate on that one, Mike?
Pay rate on that one, 455 is 127.
It's $1.66 a mile. And 455 on the miles?
Yes.
That's $755.30. What's it pay you, Dan?
798.70.
So
right
that
about
one's a
the
lot
same.
closer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's real close. Okay. So we got our answers, what we wanted on that. That makes total sense now. What do you want to do, buddy? You want down? We'll go get you some water. Hang on a second, guys. So we got our answers. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what made sense between the two boards and the dollar rates. And there really isn't any rhyme or reason, and it's kind of what I was thinking, but I wanted to see. You guys got anything? Go ahead.
The biggest thing I'm seeing so far on what we've gone over is he is getting more available loads than what we're getting.
Yeah, I was
my
told
load
that.
board's pretty loaded up, pretty good.
Yeah, I was told by the other guy that was going to come on here and do the YouTube with me. I was told that the load board was pretty packed for him. So that might be something for you guys to think about if you're wanting to get on one of these load boards. Are you thirsty, bud?
Just for example, I have 7 out of Pennsylvania, 3 out of Virginia, 6 out of North Carolina, 5 in South Carolina, 14 out of Georgia, and 3 out of Florida. That's just the East Coast.
Yeah, and those ones you just named, we are all zero. We have nothing.
Yeah. Okay. And I know the planners, I found out, can't see the percentage board.
Really?
I don't know if I believe that or not.
I know, but that's what they told me. I don't know,
I actually got an answer to that because when I was in Edwardsville, the planner in Edwardsville was telling me the same thing. He goes, I can't see anything, even on us mileage side.
Okay.
They can see things as long as we tell them the load number. They can pull it up if they want to.
Okay.
So.
All right. So let me answer some of these questions. Any of you guys want to comment on anything before I start answering these questions?
Nah, go for it.
Okay. Of course, Todd Packer has to talk about the sugary drinks that Mike drinks. That's why I banned him. Hey, Alaska Hall, how are you doing, buddy? Appreciate you coming in, as always. Sorry, Alaska Hall, this is kind of a Swift topic tonight. I know you like listening to everything, but it's more of a Swift topic. Trucker Q said you look like Princess Leia with your headphones. He's all good, man. He's just making fun of you.
It's cute.
There's my wife. She's in here. Hello from the drivers. Couldn't miss it. My streak is too good. Yeah, I hear you. You always have a good streak, baby. Mr. Cadillac King, does the load board show estimated rate per mile for each load? That's for you, Dan.
No, it just shows me an all-in rate. That's all it shows. You got to figure out how many cents per mile or what you're getting paid per mile. You just take your all-in divided by your miles, and that's what can give you your rate.
That's interesting because JB Hunt, when I was there, they would give you the all-in rate, and then they would give you the rate per mile, and so would USA Trucks. So they're not showing that at all, huh?
No, it's just an all-in rate. That's it. And then I got to do what you just did and kind of factor in the fuel surcharge.
I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's simple.
How's your deadhead been?
The first week or two out, it was bad because I was getting my bearings and, like I was telling you guys earlier, like knowing where to go and where not to go.
Right.
But now it hasn't been bad. This week was actually pretty darn good.
Okay. Trey, I know what you're saying. He says that was the copper place that makes you put PPV on. We're not on here to talk about that. We're comparing the load boards is what we're trying to do. Can you run both or just – nope, you just have to run one, Michael Shepard.
Yep.
So this is what Todd Packer said. He says those are horrible rates. He's been doing $10,000 a week working 5 days and 2 days home. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, good for you, buddy. Mr. Cadillac, seems like the loads aren't the same. Yep, that's why I wanted to do this. It didn't appear to be the same.
I'm going to be assuming the reason that is because what I was told, and maybe you can confirm that or not, is us who are mileage, we're able to have access to the planners and the load board, whereas the people who are on the percentage, you can only get your loads from the load board. Now, is that?
No, because if I go to an area and there's nothing, I tell them even like a day ahead of time, hey, there's nothing there, and they'll find me a load. They'll pre-plan me.
So
and I was also told that. Good.
Oh no, I was just going to ask. So if they just send you a load, you just got to hope it's a decent rate on it then.
Yeah, and if it sucks, I can deny it. I can refuse it. I had a couple where I'm like, they sent me one, and it wasn't paying that great, and it was going to be like a 3-day load, and I said, no, I'm not sitting on this for 3 days, and I just rejected it. So I don't have to take anything.
That's all.
And I don't know how true this is or not either, but one of the fleet manager told me that I guess some of which I don't know again if it's true or not, that the shippers put the loads on our load board. For me, anyways, that's maybe why there's more that I see. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know.
Have you been running into very many glitches? I talked to Amanda today to find out if there was an update on when it would be eligible. And she says that they're not really planning on bringing anybody over. There's a lot of glitches. They're having a lot of issues. So I'm not sure how much of that is just her trying to keep me on the mileage.
That's not true. That's not true. Michelle said last night on the live that they want to bring about 15 more people aboard.
Okay, I'm going to give Michelle a call.
Actually.
Well, they want to bring people coming in to Swift to do it, not people that are already here. Yeah, that's kind of what they're looking for. It's going to be open to everybody in January is what she said.
Okay, because, she says that it's really glitchy. They're having a lot of issues with it, so I'm not sure why unless she's just trying to. I don't.
She's relaying to you what she's being told. She's relaying to you what she's being told.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with it. I click a button and it's booked. Boom. I haven't had any issues with it.
Now, do you find yourself stuck anywhere?
Not lately, no. Like I said, the first couple weeks was but now, no, I'm able to get out. I had this week, they had to cancel me because I told you I got stuck up in Washington with that mudslide. But
Yep.
I was able to actually book myself out for the week up through Tuesday, and I was at 5,500 gross for the week.
Oh, nice.
But they had to pull that last load off me, though.
How many loads can you book?
As many as you want. I booked, this is the first week I was able to book 3 of them in advance, which was pretty cool because I like doing that. I wish they could do it a little bit more, but usually I can only go and grab one at a time. But I have this one, and I have 2 more planned after I drop the one off that I'm on. So I'm pretty good until next week, Monday or Tuesday of next week.
So they will let you get as many as you want, huh?
Yeah, I can stack them. But they did pull the one for me, like I said, because that delay I had almost 8 hours up in Washington. But I grabbed another one going down to Goodyear, Arizona for a little bit less money, but I still was able to keep. And that one delivers on Tuesday, so I'll still have time to pick up one of the short ones going to Vegas or something to get me in by the cutoff on Wednesday. So I'll still have a $5,500 a week gross.
Hey, Dad, how many Texas loads do you show on yours?
What's that? There's some feedback there.
How many Texas loads do you show?
Like now, Texas is always loaded up. Give me 1 second, it's loading. Texas, I have 21.
Yeah, so that's almost double what we got.
Yeah. Texas, California, Arizona, like you said, Colorado. Those always have a pretty decent amount as far as like the West Coast. I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to stay on the West Coast for a little bit and just see how it works because I'm out of Phoenix. So like I was home last week and I can swing by the house Tuesday for a little while if I want to.
Nice.
You know, so it's pretty cool.
All right, let me read some of these comments. So, guys, post your comments up. We got about 15 minutes, and Dan's going to have to roll, guys. And honestly, I don't know how long we're going to run this live tonight, but got questions. Let's post them up. This is your chance to ask. That's why I did the show. Justin Burgers, what's up, buddy? And Cadillac, Mr. Cadillac says, okay, cool. Craig is in the house. Good evening. Hey, Craig. Boy, do I have a story to tell you, Craig. Why don't you give me a ring tomorrow? Trucker Q, my company tried to get me to deadhead 725 miles a day to Clearwater, Michigan to get a load. I literally told them to kick rocks. The load wasn't paying that much for the deadhead miles. Trucker Q, he's at Prime, guys, just to let you know. That's a long deadhead. What's your average deadhead for the percentage board? Mr. Cadillac wants to know.
Like I said, it's been varying. Right now, I'm not doing much. Today, I deadheaded about 40 miles, 50 miles. It's not bad at all. I went down to the West Valley, Utah, and I picked up just north of there. I picked up my second load. Like I said, my first week, it was a lot of deadhead because I was just getting my bearings. But right now, no, I'm under 100 miles of deadhead usually, maybe 50, 60.
That's good. So Justin 14K says hi. He said he worked for Swift for 2 years. He could only average about 1,500 a week, being gone all the time. Justin, 2 years ago when you were working here, it was a whole different world. A lot of things have changed in 2 years, not only from here but just the market itself. Big difference. The pumpkin board is getting better overall. A lot more loads and rates climbing slowly, but they are climbing. Lots of loads appear a day, which is handy, but load drops out. So Flying Patty's at Big Orange, which is Snyder.
Okay.
He's another operator there.
Been there, done that.
And Justin said, yeah, me too. Justin said, now I have my own authority and I make much more. Seems like Swift controls your miles. No, I don't think so at all. They don't control my miles.
I took it home 2,700 this week, so I'm not complaining.
No, I don't have too many issues. I've struggled the last few weeks, but I've had a little more home time than I planned on to, just because stuff going on. But
I've struggled. I've struggled the last couple weeks too. Mine is more. I've just been spending a lot more on fuel than I should be. So
Freight Swami's in the house, which is Mark Ely. He just scored $3.54, $3.54 in Indianapolis to Brooksville. Then you got a $2 one out of Florida to Michigan. So if you got $2 out of Florida, that's pretty damn good. And I'm in Michigan right now. By the way, it's good to have you on, Mark. Appreciate it, buddy. Michael Shepard, how are the loads along I-75? And I'm assuming you want to know from the percentage. And when you say I-75, what state are we specifically looking at? We'll go back to that one. Mr. Cadillac, y'all did awesome. Well, we're trying to, man. We're trying to. Trucker Q. Dan, what seems to be your average pay a week net?
I say this week, I took home $2,700 this week. That was after all my truck payments started coming out this week and my fuel and everything else. So not bad, not a bad week.
Well,
you're better than I am.
Well, next week will be about the same.
I'll keep in touch, obviously, with Dan. He's one of my guys, but I'll keep in touch and I'll kind of post to you guys and let you know how he's doing from time to time. He's literally, what, your third week or second week?
My third week.
Third week, yeah, third weekend. So he's first couple of weeks was a learning experience, obviously, and you know I couldn't help him a whole lot because I didn't really know what was going on with it. So he's figuring it out. He's doing pretty good, but he's no newcomer to it either, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Cadillac says, all my questions have been answered and definitely thinking about switching. Mr. Cadillac, sounds like it, man. All right, Craig, yeah, give me a call tomorrow. I got a funny story to tell you. 700 miles, 10 mile per gallon. That's 70 gallons at 2.58, about $181. Yep, that's about right. 2,700 is low for working the whole week. All right, Justin. You know, I appreciate your comments, man. I'm glad you make $1 million a mile and all that. We never claim that we make great money here or we're going to get rich like you. But we're here to talk about our stuff, not what you're doing or what other companies are doing. I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything. That's great that you're doing that. We have other things that are going on. We have our reasons why we're here or why we want to be here.
Well, and for me, it's like I don't have $2,700 checks, and I know I've probably got I'm probably taking loads I should be turning down, but I'm not doing as good as Dan. But I'm happy with what I'm doing because I'm not being pressured. They give me my loads. I run my loads.
And you don't have the broker calling you at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning like I did.
Don't have the broker. Don't have reefer dispatch calling you at 3 o'clock saying, "Hey, are you ready to go? Your clock is up in 15 minutes." Or I don't have to worry about not stopping and having enough time to take potty breaks and stuff like that. Yeah, could I go somewhere else to make more money? Have I made more money elsewhere? Yes, but I'm more relaxed. I'm not nearly as stressed, and I'm paying my bills. And where I'm at right now, am I making the best money I could? No, and obviously with what Dan's doing, and I know with what James does, there's room for me to improve, but that's for me to improve. With the company and with the pay opportunities, I'm perfectly happy.
I want to add into that because I'm completely agree with you. I mean I could be making more money. I could be I could go to another company and make more. But I very much enjoy here at Swift. Swift, pretty much the way I've looked at it is Swift will give you the tools to succeed. It is all 100% up to you as the owner op. They're not gonna hold your hand and walk you through it. You're gonna have to figure it out on your own, and they give you that freedom, and that's what a lot of people are attracted to this program is they literally give you the tools you need, but it's all up to you.
And the best thing I've been with other companies, especially reefer companies, that when you turn down a load whoever, I'm not sure what his name was, who says $2,700 is nothing. I don't have to worry about pissing off my dispatcher because that load does not work for me. Or there's been a couple times I've turned down a couple loads just because, hey, and I send a message to a planner, hey, I'm turning down this load, but I need this. I need as close to this many miles to close out my week. What do we have available? And they'll pull that one off and send me something as close as they can get. Will it always be an exact match? No, but it'll be close enough that I can make it work. And I've never had anybody call me up and say, well, I did that, but that was on a dedicated account. Say, no, we don't have any loads for you. You turn down that load. That's the only thing we got for you. So if you don't take it, I guess we'll see what happens on Monday. I have not had that happen.
Let me get to these questions. So, Frey Swami wants to know, what about the New York City area?
No, there's nothing.
No, I only show one load in New York, and it's not in the city.
Yeah, Mark, just to let you know, we don't have hardly anything that I'm aware of that goes into the city.
Only New York loads I've done so far is Buffalo.
Yeah,
gone to Buffalo a few times.
Yeah, upstate.
We got some questions here. So, Nick, we can't do every single state, but look up New Hampshire for him, will you? Nick, I can put you in contact with Dan somehow if you want to find out all those questions with those states. We just can't do all of them.
The only one up there that's decent is New Jersey. Anything else, New Hampshire 0, Vermont has 2. There's really nothing up that way. Rhode Island 0.
And we're looking on a Friday too.
Yeah.
Remember that, Nick. We're looking on a Friday. We probably should have did this show during the week. I didn't even think of that, but whatever. He says all of them. Trucker Q. That's pretty good. Okay. So what about Ohio? Michael Shepard wants to know.
I show 8 out of Ohio.
8 out of Ohio, okay. And
like I said, it's Friday night too, so yeah.
He got a load 7,200 from New York City to Texas. That's really good.
Wow.
Dan is drive-in. Yeah, it's drive-in. That's the only load boards that we have is drive-in right now.
Mm-hmm.
2,700 is solid. If you're making profit, it's a win. Yeah, I think 27 is pretty good.
After all your expenses, I think so.
I'd be ecstatic on a $2,700 week.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, next week about the same for sure.
My average would be 18.
Right now, my average it's down. I'm averaging about 1,200, but I had 3 weeks, which of low revenue just because the way home time worked out. I had a short week. I took like a week off for a trip that I did, so I had a short week, a week off, and then another short week. So my average is down. If I take that out of the equation, I'm pushing between 1,400 and 1,600.
Yeah, I'm about 1,400 and 1,600, and that's all on me. It's because I'm spending more in fuel than I probably should be.
That's me too. I blame that on me. I don't blame that on Swift.
So
Trucker Q said, have the. I'm sorry. I was gonna say for fuel, I've been using my open roads and Bud Flap. I've been getting some pretty good discounts with those.
Okay. Trucker Q says 2,700 is a solid number in my opinion. Good job, Dan.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so too. Flying Patty. Everyone's situation is different. I don't have a truck payment, so fuel is my biggest cost, which I have it down to 34 cents a mile. Focus on your business and learn from others. That's a good number, 34 cents. I'm between 36 and 39, depending on the climate and fuel charges and stuff. But yeah, that's probably a good number. What's up, Steve? Good to have you in, buddy. My average take home would be 1,900. Now there's weeks I make more, but it's easy here. Yeah, it's very easy here, and the freedom, says Chris. Yeah. It's not hard to make money here. It's just how much money do you want to make and how hard do you want to work?
Mm-hmm.
Trey says he goes home every 14 to 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to catch up on these. Mr. Cadillac, we are truly 100% on our own unless we get stuck. Craig says, Swift has been great to me. I don't get harassed. My time off is not controlled, and I have the freedom to run my business the way I want to. Totally
Mhm.
agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, it's you're doing what you want the way you want. I mean, I may not always go where I want, but I can always turn down the load. I mean, it's like I could have turned this load down because I kind of wanted to. I mean, James talked about this. I kind of wanted to work the West Coast for a little bit, but when they send you a 1,700-mile load, it's kind of hard to say no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trey says they don't punish me either. I tell them to maximize my Wednesday to Wednesday, and they don't get mad. Absolutely, they don't punish you for anything like that.
Mhm.
No,
Justin, if you have something nice to say, take a hike. I've already booted him out. Nicole. We've already booted him out. He made a comment saying that we were working for free over here. Justin, what makes you think I'm driving for free? Yeah, Lone Trucker Mike, absolutely. Nick says, yeah, I know it's the weekend pretty much. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. She says, I got you, James and Mike. Yeah, we're looking at this on a Friday, guys. So that's one thing too.
well,
Hell,
we
I'd
got
be
a lot
happy
of information we
with 200
need.
a week, says Michael Shepard. Michael Shepard, you might want to give me a ring, buddy. My phone number is flashing down at the bottom. If you're already here, um, give me a call. I might be able to help you get that bumped up a little bit. Um, Trey says, had a typo. I have voice to text, and sometimes the text box will pick up on vocal words. Yeah, I have that problem all the time, too. All the time. Nasty card is good for fuel card and shows pump price minus IFTA, says Flying Patty. Thanks for the hit there.
That's too good.
Sean Fairman checking in from Auburndale, Florida. Hey Sean, glad to have you. Ricardo, how did you make 2,700? How long did you stay out? That's pretty good pay.
Was out from Thursday through Wednesday. It was a whole week.
On that,
And you're trying to go home, and you're going home, once a week too, right?
No, well, at first I was gone for the first couple of weeks, but I did go home last week, and I'll be home again on Tuesday. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm every couple of weeks. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Was any of that carryover from a previous
No.
week? No carryover. Okay.
This week, like I said, this week will be about the same. I'll take home right around the same, 25, 2,700.
I've always been a fan of percentage personally. I like chasing dollars. I don't like chasing numbers or chasing miles. I find it easier to chase dollars than to do miles.
Mm-hmm.
And see, for me, I'm the other way around. I struggled with another company I was part of that was paying percentage, and I've thrived here doing the miles. So
Well, with that other company, were they choosing the loads or were you choosing the loads?
the other company, they were choosing the loads. A lot of people say, there's a gentleman in here from Prime. I was with Wilson Logistics and their lease program, and they run their program exactly like Prime, but they chose everything themselves. So
I looked at Wilson's program. I was not impressed, especially when they told me they chose the loads. No, in my opinion, the only way percentage works is if you are choosing your own loads.
Yeah.
If the company is choosing your loads, you want to be in mileage. In my opinion, if you can choose your loads, then you want to be on percentage. The way I look at it, that's the main reason I came. In fact, James, when we originally talked, it was the percentage board that brought me over here. I came over a little bit earlier because of other issues, but it was when I saw an ad pop up for the percentage board, and that's what attracted me. And I'm still waiting for unless I get an opportunity on this dedicated.
You need to call Michelle. You need to call Michelle Monday and ask her.
I'm going to. I'll talk to her because I talked to Amy or my driver leader, and she was like, "No, I mean." She was really down talking it, and was like, it just didn't make sense. That it's like, I know they're adding more drivers, so this isn't adding up.
Yeah.
Dan, whenever you got to scoot, buddy, it's all good. Okay.
All right. Yeah. If anybody has anything else, let me know, or James, you can let him know, and he'll get back to me on it.
Let me screen through these. I'm going to read all the texts. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just seeing if there's any specific thing here for Dan before he goes. No, nothing here specifically for you. So
All right.
Dan, if there get any
Cool.
questions, I'll give them to you, and we'll talk
Yeah.
later.
Give me a shout. I'll let you know how
Stay
next week
safe,
goes.
man.
Keep y'all
Hey, thanks
updated.
for you two are staying on, right?
Yeah.
For a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it, bud.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye bye.
So let me read these comments. Mr. Cadillac says, y'all be safe. He's heading out. I know we got all your questions answered. We'll talk tomorrow, Chris. Jay Livingston, I'm with F2F now, thinking about coming over to Swift. Hey, Jay Livingston, my phone number's down at the bottom. Give me a ring. I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. And I'll give you the good and bad and the ugly. That's kind of why we're doing what we're doing tonight, to see what the ugly is between the two. Give me a ring. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Dre, hey, Mike, those numbers are kind of low. I work for Swift and I average 2,500. Mike's happy with us.
Well, I've also had some challenges in the last couple weeks, and there's probably been a few loads that I've taken that I shouldn't have. I've done like quite a few 150, 200-mile loads, and I'm starting to turn those down. I'm starting this week. I kind of been turning those shorter loads down. I'm pushing for between 450 and 550 a day. So if a load is less than a day long, I'm not accepting anything under 450 miles, and we're going to see how that works. I think I've been accepting too many mile loads.
I wonder where you came up with that equation at. Because that's exactly what I told you. Don't take anything under 450 miles a day unless it's that next day or the same.
I totally
day.
forgot we talked about that until you just mentioned it. Yeah, because I was just thinking about that. It was like
I just told you the same thing too, didn't I, Aaron?
Yeah,
I told you the same thing too, didn't I?
Yeah. And then the funny thing is I actually had that happen being up here in Troutdale, in the Troutdale planning area. They sent me a load for 141 miles, and I immediately was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then they were like, well, we're stacking you. You're taking this load to deliver, but then you're picking up from the same person you're delivering to. So I was like, all right,
that would be okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
and that's what I always say. If you're going to take a 100, 200 mile load or whatever, then stack me. Give me something on the back end. Give me something nice. I'll help out. Trace says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Bill Nolan's in the house. Hey, Bill, I'm glad you made it in. Sorry I'm late. It's all good. It's all good, Bill. We did some talking earlier. West Coast, when I was on the load board, looked like it's possible to get through the house a lot. Okay. That percentage board, like he said, man, there's at least double the amount of loads on each state that you guys are looking at. So I got to tell you the truth. If things ever happen to me here on this, I might be looking at the percentage board. That actually,
I'm not gonna lie. After what he was telling me, I might be looking at it too. So.
I'm definitely switching unless Mopar, finally offers me a slot. As soon as I can, I'm going to get switched over. I'm going to talk to Michelle on Monday and see if she can get me on the waiting list, because obviously my driver leader isn't interested in doing so.
But they don't want to switch you, buddy, because they lose you. You know what I mean? In a roundabout way. The thing is, for every load that we do, they make money off of us too. I'm sure.
But she shouldn't.
There's got to be some kind of equation to that.
She shouldn't be losing me if I'm just switching over to percentage. I shouldn't change the driver leader.
No, you're not going to change your driver leader, but you're booking your own load. She's going to lose a little bit out of that because she's not getting it for you.
Oh, so they only get paid if. But see, she's never involved in me getting a load. It's always the planner.
I understand, but still, she is. Even though she's not involved, she is involved. You understand what I'm saying? But if it take that step away, I don't know this for sure. I'm just assuming this, okay? That she loses whatever that little bonus is or whatever that little scratch that she gets because you're doing your own shit now, Oh, and I'm going to tell you guys at the beginning too. This video is actually the first video, other than the one you did, Aaron. But this is the actual first video where we actually compared loads between the two. and I got a feeling it's gonna get to management. Because when we talked to Michelle last night, I got a feeling it's going to go to the higher ups. I meant to tell you guys that in case y'all had a little stage fright or anything.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
that's why we're not showing any of the actual
Yeah.
load board, and we're not talking about specific customers or anything like that because we don't want to get into proprietary information.
So Nick says he's really considering the percentage if they give me the option, but not 100%. So Nick, you need to tell Michelle immediately because, like we said earlier,
Yes.
they're bringing like 15 to 20 more people that are straight hires like you. So if you want to do it, you might want to tell her, on Monday when you come in, because he's starting on Monday. I agree with that, Mike. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Nick, if you want to do that, you can probably, if you got her number, you can probably text Michelle over the weekend so she can have the heads up. Dre says it's crazy how Swift built such a big company with our hard work. Yeah, I guess if you want to look at it that way, we are the worker bees. This company wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the drivers. And I understand how you put that, but I've never really looked at it that way. Um, I don't know how you all feel about it. To me, it's kind of I don't want to say a derogatory statement, but he's making it sound like they don't do anything and we do all the hard work. I mean, hard work is a definition depending on how you look at it, what you do. You know what I mean? Because all the way up to the CEO, I'm sure that he has challenges day to day too that he has to deal with. And you got the people that deals with the budget on how to pay people. So, hard work is kind of how you define hard work. Don't you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't know what they do. I got to tell you the truth. What I do, it's pretty easy. I don't know about you guys for how hard we work. I mean, I don't know any other job where you can basically walk in start a company with basically zero out of your pocket or minimal money and start a 6-figure career potentially with nothing. Where can you do that at?
You can't.
And where else can you send a message to your leader in whatever company you're working? Says, oh, you know what? I want to work this week. I want to work these hours. We work the hours we want to work. I know James runs a lot later and a lot earlier than what I do. I run more later morning. I start around 5 to 6, sometimes 7, depending on the load. But we get to work the hours we want, and Swift honors that. I have not had refrigeration. They don't. And I've worked for far more companies than I probably should have. But out of all the companies I've worked for, other than Orange, Swift is the only other company that I feel like has treated me fair and has treated me like a driver. Here's your assignment. Go to work. Let us know if you have any issues.
You can literally work as hard as you want to here or as easy as you want to here, as long as you make your deliveries when you're supposed to do your job.
And that's all they care about. And communicating when you run into an issue. And whether the issue is something you generated or something that's out of your control. All they care about is that you communicate. And you communicate early enough that, let's say I did forget to get up, or for some reason I got up late one morning and I'm now outside my delivery window because I slept in, alarm didn't go off, whatever. If you call in early enough and say, hey, this is what's going on, they have options at that point. They can get the load repowered. They can have you drop it somewhere and get it picked up. They can push your delivery window out. Sometimes some loads have that flexibility, but you can give them time and they'll work with you. If you call them up 3 hours before your delivery and say, "Oh, I'm going to be 4 hours late because I didn't get up 2 days ago," no, you're going to get a service fee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to read these comments here in a second, but I want to make another comment real quick. And nobody's said anything here lately. But for the trolls that come on here and talk to big bad numbers, I made $1 million a mile last week and all that shit. I'm gonna tell you guys one last time, and I've said it so many times in the past. You want to come in here and tell us how we're doing our shit all wrong and saying that you're doing everything the right way, I'm going to block you. I'm going to delete your comments. I don't care. You know, it's not free press, in my opinion. This is my channel. I choose what I want to have on here, and I will boot your comments off here. I've booted quite a few comments in the last couple of weeks for stupidity. I don't care what it is. I don't need the stupidity. I don't need the ridicule. Neither does these two gentlemen either, and also Dan that was just on here. Anybody that I bring on here, we don't need it. That's not the purpose of this channel. Purpose of this channel is to help the drivers of Swift and Swift only. I mean, I don't mind helping other people come aboard, and I don't mind helping other people. Like Trucker Q comes on here. His comments are very respectable, and I get a lot of guys that come on here very respectable. Flying Patty, I'm not going to have it, and that's the last time I'm going to say it. And from here on out, you're getting booted. That's all there is to it, and I'll stop from there. I'm sorry, guys. I had to say that again.
No, I have something on that also, James. I don't care if you're over there and you think we're making crap money and we're working for free, whatever. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you're doing. If you're happy with what you're doing, great. That's great for you. But I guarantee you, the guys that are in here saying they're making more money, they're doing better, they're making more miles, they are dealing with crap like negotiating with brokers. They're dealing with crap I don't want to deal with. And I've worked for Mercer. I've worked for Landstar. I hate negotiating rates. Give me the rate. I'll either accept the rate or I'll decline the rate. I guarantee you, every one of those that are coming in here and complaining about we're not making any money, they're dealing with crap. I have chosen an operation that I don't have to deal with that crap.
All right, let me catch up on these comments because while they're still relevant, because they get too old, then they're not relevant anymore. Trucker Q says, yeah, there are some people at Prime that have been here a long time. That's how access to load choice, which is Prime load board, but you have to have been here for a while. Yeah, I know that. What's his name? Driver lineup. He talks about that all the time. The driver choice. That's where they give you 3 loads and you pick from one.
Swift used to do that.
One ugly at Swift is the wait at the terminal put gates. Out gates. I bet that's out gates. Yeah, you got to wait. See, and that's a security thing. They want to make sure you got your lock on the trailer and make sure you're hooked to the right trailer you're supposed to. It's just a security thing, man. I don't have any problems with it. It don't take that long. Usually it doesn't. Bill Nolan, 450 loaded or total miles. And see, this is why, we need to read these comments. I don't know what that means. Were we talking about something about it? You're going to have to.
No, that was probably one of the, when we were talking about that 450 mile load, that was loaded miles because there's no deadhead miles on the load board. So when you're looking at the load board, that's the miles from where you pick the load up to where you deliver it. You won't get your deadhead miles until you are given your the actual load assignment.
So Trucker Q says, I'm pretty cool with my driver leader, and he knows I have a family and kids, and he makes sure I make at least 6,000 revenue a week at minimum. That's pretty awesome, actually. Yeah. That's actually a good number. So just to give you kind of, and I think me and you talked about that the other day, Trucker Q, your 6,000 in revenue is like 4,500 revenue for us here. We're going to be bringing home about the same amount of money between those two numbers. And the only reason that is because Swift pays for everything. And that's kind of what we talked about. Chris says, I did a short run this week in Houston and got screwed on money and miles for the week. Never again. Yeah, I know. We talked about that too. So Trey wants to know where you live at, Mike.
I live in Amarillo, Texas, which 9 times out of 10, I end up deadheading from, or bobtailing from Dallas to Amarillo. Although today I did see some Amarillo outbound loads coming up. So hopefully we're picking up some stuff in Amarillo. But most of the time it's about a 400 mile bobtail that I have to do, and then I bobtail home, and then I'll wait for him to. I'll have him give me a load assignment, either out of Amarillo, or I'll book something out of Amarillo and then ask for an empty trailer and get paid the good head miles out.
So Jonah Green is going to get his ass kicked. Tell Michelle you're a Clemson fan, and she'll switch you over. So there's a little inside joke between them two. He's a Clemson fan, and she's a South Carolina fan. Craig says, if I'm not mistaken, their bonuses are based on your miles. You know what? He's talking about the driver leaders.
Oh,
I really do think you're right, though. I really do think you're right. Mike lives somewhere around working for the free district. Same with the rest of you. Okay. All right, Dre. Just like I talked about, you're out of here.
bye.
Wait a minute. Let me go back up. This I can text her number. That is all your videos. That's the one I have. I can text her number.
He's talking about the number that you have scrolling across. No, that is her work number, not her cell phone.
The number scrolling down at the bottom is my number. I don't put Michelle's phone number down there.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I put her work phone number in there, but Nick, if you give me a holler tomorrow, I'll help you get a hold of her.
I think the only time you put her number up is when you have her on the on the stream.
Jay Livingston, I have my own dry box van trailer. Can I bring it into Swift? You can, but I don't think you really want to because we do a lot of dropping hooks. You would lose your trailer. You know what? I don't even think you can, honestly.
You
No,
can't.
They'll let you bring in your truck, but not a trailer.
Not the trailer.
Yeah. You don't want to bring your trailer over because you're going to lose it.
Well, that or you're going to be really limited on loads because you're only live loading or live unloading.
Yep.
Which is far and few in between.
I don't think, Michelle, I think we talked about this before. I don't think you could even bring your trailer here. They don't even allow it.
I don't think so.
So Michael Shepard says, I haven't started there yet, waiting for the processor to submit my paperwork. As a lease, what is their policy? Michael,
Yeah.
huh?
I was going to say that it's just what I was told is it's just like with the company. You got to fill out the piece of paperwork saying who you're going to have on your truck, and then you got to pay their fee. Now I don't know. Maybe you've been told something different, but
Michael, why don't you call me tomorrow? Why don't you call me tomorrow? We'll discuss that because we're actually talking other stuff tonight. But yeah, feel free to call me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you.
Actually, I got an answer for it because I just my dad. I'm thinking about my dad coming out for a week with me. You just have to fill out the form at least 24 hours in advance.
I don't think that's what he's asking. Oh, I see. The rider policy. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Chris says, usually you have a big open window to deliver. Yeah, there's always big open windows to deliver. Almost always.
If you don't, then it's a live unload.
Sounds like percentage is like the way to go over at Swift. You guys should give it a go. Rates seem to be going up. Yeah, I think most guys are going to do it. I don't really want to because I'm on a good deal with what I have, but I think these other two guys are probably going to try it out. Nicholasburg, okay, call me tomorrow, buddy. We'll get a hold of Michelle. Can you choose a DM? If you know what DM you want, you probably could. I don't know that answer. Do you have somebody in mind, Bill?
choose your terminal, but not your DM, is what I've been told. So
yeah, that's what I was told too.
I think you can request a DM, but you have to go through Rapid to do that.
Now, if you do not get if you have an issue, a personality conflict with your DM, that you can request change of DM if there is a conflict there. But you really very rarely deal with your DM. You're dealing with planners more often than you're dealing with your DM. I generally, if I have an issue, I'm talking to the planners, and then I'm updating my DM on what's going on. But I rarely talk to her if I'm having an issue. There's normally the planners you go to, or
you don't talk to planners anymore, do you?
Yeah, I call planners.
Really?
Or if I'm, yeah, I call planners all the time.
Huh.
Or
See, I
send a
never talk to planners at all anymore. You know, Elmer does
Well,
everything.
no, you're on dedicated too. I'm still OTR. I'm not on the dedicated side yet.
So you're wanting recommendations. You're new. Yeah, Bill. I mean, you know, I know we did a lot of talking today, Bill. It just depends. I mean, there's lots of factors in there. No, I don't have any recommendations. I can't, Bill. If I remember correctly, I know we did. I talked to a lot of people today. You're already working here, right? Is that correct? I'm pretty sure that you are.
There's justification for both. I could make an argument to do both. I could make an argument to not do either one of them and do one.
Oh, you know what, Bill? You're the one that has the DM up in Idaho. I remember now when we talked last night. You're going to have to go through rapid response and get them to hook you up with another DM if that's what you want, driver manager. That's easy.
If he has the same driver leader as I do, all you got to do, because I had issues with her as well, because I'm based out of the Idaho terminal. All you got to do is get out there, have them get you a load to Idaho, and then you sit down with her and you hash out. That's what I ended up doing, because we were having issues and we were butting heads. And then I got a load to Lewiston, and I sat down. I was like, hey, look, it's either you and I are going to fix this with each other, or I'm going over to a different terminal. So we sat down for about half an hour and we hashed out our issues. And she's, if you have Lisa, she's really cool. You just gotta be straight and honest with her. She is one of those DMs though that will make it to where you have to deal with the planners at all times. She doesn't really want to have to deal with anything when it comes to getting you loads or planning you on anything or even talking to the planners. You have to do it all yourself.
Okay. So Trucker Q said he made pretty decent money at Swift when he was there, even after the schooling deduction. The main reason he left was my DM, but still make good money. Yeah, you said that before, that when you were a company driver. I think if I remember correct, you said you were still making like $1,400-1,500 a week as a company driver. If I remember
That's
correctly.
real good.
That's really good as a company driver.
Yeah, Lewiston. You said you're out of Lewiston. Lewiston is the training school I went through. I went through the Lewiston Academy.
Yeah, I'm at Lewiston, and for some reason they keep adding because I'm Lisa up there's the only one that deals with all the owner ops. I mean, you get to, if she's busy, then you're dealing with the other DMs too. But she has, what she was telling me, about 40 plus drivers that they just keep adding more owner ops to her that she has to be babysit or in charge of. So
I asked Amanda a while back how many drivers are on her board. She says the owner op driver leaders have anywhere between 40 and 60 drivers per board.
Where's Lewiston at? Is that Lewiston, Maine?
Lewiston, Idaho. It's right up in the middle, of between north and south. It's big for a paper plant out there too. So,
right by the terminal.
Yep.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm just turning my truck off. It's getting hot. Man, it was hot here.
Jamming out.
Yeah, I had to start mine just before the stream because it was getting too hot.
32 degrees. Come here, buddy. You want to come up here? Questions, guys? Pop them up. We're caught up. I don't think I can be more direct with his DM. Yeah. Come here, bud.
If you're not getting along with her, then the best thing, what I can tell you is what I was told is, you just go to a terminal that you think you'll be good out of, that's close to home, and go talk to the terminal manager and go, hey, I would like to switch. So,
Trucker Q, have you all made plans to make it home for Christmas? Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Whole reason why I'm staying out here on the West Coast is because I want to get home. So,
Yep, I will. I've got home time scheduled from the 22nd with a hard date of the 23rd. So the 22nd, 23rd, and then we'll see how finances. I would personally like to stay home until the second, but I don't know that that's going to happen.
All right, Bill. So to answer your question, the main number. So write this down, get you a pen, and I'm going to give you the main Swift number, and that's how you get a hold of the planners. All right, so the main number to Swift, and you got to listen to the Rolodex and figure out. And then it'll say to talk to a planner, you push whatever number, and then it'll give you the different areas of what planners you're in. Then you got to figure out, are you southeast, southwest? So you just got to listen to all the prompts. It takes a little bit, but this is how you get a hold of them. It's 800 2200. So 800 twice and then 2200. That's how you get a hold.
Some of that too, when they give you a pre-plan or whatnot, they'll put their contact information at the bottom of that so you can get a hold of them. And depending on where you are in the country, some of them will actually put their cell phone number there too. That way you can call them directly instead of going through the whole Rolodex to get to them.
Yeah, there's been a few times where I've called them and said, "Hey, this is what you're offering. Can we make some adjustments, or is there a load that can follow up with this? Because by itself it doesn't make sense." And you can call them up and say, "Is there anything that you can plan with this?" If they say no, then I totally just reject it. But a lot of times I will actually call and talk to either the planner that sent me the load or another planner before I reject a load, because there might be something they're working on that I don't know about.
Yeah.
So that 800 number that I gave you, you can get a hold of anybody at Swift with that number. You just got to listen to the prompts. You can get a hold of payroll. You can get a hold of anybody. Rapid response. You can get a hold of a specific person. Anybody you need to get a hold of, you can get a hold of them with that number. All right. I'm going to be home on the 23rd and leave it out on the 26th. And my DM said he will get me a load going past the house for New Year's. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm going home, I think, on the 22nd, and I'll be rolling back out Saturday. I think Saturday's the 27th. And I'm not going home for New Year's, but mine is pretty similar.
Yeah, New Year's I've never really cared about. I have a little one still with my ex-wife. I have to be home for Christmas. So Christmas is, I think, if I remember correctly, mine is the hard date of the 23rd, and then I'm coming back out the Friday, literally right after Christmas. So
Yeah,
Bill,
I'll come out on Friday or Saturday, depending on how things.
Bill, we talked earlier, man. If your situation was different to where you weren't trying to get home as much as you needed to, I'd bring you over to where I'm at. But the problem is you want to be home too much, so I can't make that happen. Just to let you know. He says, just load. So far, not good. Lone Wolf Trucker Mike. Is that you, Mike, by the way?
Yep, that's me.
Okay. Bill Nolan, what do you mean? Okay. Why don't you just talk on here rather than text? That's kind of silly. Crazy man. Jesus. I'm sitting here like, that has to be you.
Because maybe he could give me a little more information on that before.
You tried to come in incognito on me, man. I don't like that.
the only advice I can give you, Bill, is if you're having issues, because if I remember from last night's live, you were talking about how you were getting all these short miles. Is you just got to reach out. You just got to reach out to the. You got to reach out to the planners directly. And if they, a lot of them will work their best that they can for you if you reach out to them directly, or just send that macro 10 and just refuse to move the truck until they respond to what you're trying to relay to them. So
I don't think anything's done facetiously. The problem is you're new, Bill, and they don't know how you run, and they just throw stuff at you to see what you'll take. And after you've been here for a while, they're going to know how you like to run, because believe it or not, I think they really do keep notes on the drivers, because they do know what you take and what you don't take, and they can look at your history. So you're just new and they just don't know.
Yeah, when I first started, I had a lot higher rejection rate than I do now. I'm rejecting less loads. In fact, I didn't even think about it last week. They, because I was like, it was I think Monday or Tuesday. I was like, I need just enough miles to close this week out. She sent me it was a 4 or 500 miles load delivered on Wednesday. It was like, oh, it would have been nice to have a little bit more, but it was definitely an effort to to get a Wednesday delivery in. So I think you're right, James. I think they do because I'm starting to see more and more loads within my normal parameters and not rejecting nearly as many loads as I
Well, that
used to.
Well,
that
I'm
you just
telling you they do because I've got
Yeah,
friends that are plumbers and they're telling me this. They do that
yeah,
on purpose.
you got to build a relationship with them too. I've been up here in the Washington, Oregon area quite a bit since I've come on the Swift, and the planner Stephanie out of Troutdale. She knows that I'm coming up there. She knows exactly what I want, where I want to go, so she just immediately sends it to me and goes, "Hey, here you go, Aaron." So I have zero issues when it comes up to this area with that. It all depends. You got to build that relationship with the planner. And then sorry, I read his answer. If you're trying to get home and this is just my personal advice to you, um, if you're trying to get home for a 34-hour reset every week, that is the whole reason why they are giving you those short miles, is because you've made it very clear that you want to be home for a 34 every week. You got to push yourself out farther than 1 week if you want to get those longer loads, because they're just not going to be able to give you something that picks up, let's say, there in Kentucky and then goes all the way to freaking Colorado or Arizona and then gets you right back to Kentucky for a 34
yep.
right
They're trying to
away.
keep you in
So
that area.
yeah,
Uh,
You know,
Jay,
Bill, we talked about this earlier, and that's one of the things that I was telling you that can you go home every weekend? Sure, you can go home every weekend, but you're going to have to figure that route out, what makes sense, and you're going to have to do a lot of load board hunting. You're going to have to figure out some of those loads that go back and forth. Like for instance, find you a load that goes from the area in Kentucky where you live at. I know you live in Harlan, so find something from like Lexington or maybe even Louisville that goes to St. Louis and back. Do that twice a week or something similar to that. And that's just one example. You're going to have to find those short loads. And Aaron's exactly right. They're not wanting to send you out 800, 900, maybe 1,000 miles out because they want to make sure you get home for your weekend because that's what you request. That's one of the things about working here at Swift. You can choose your routes, your schedules, and how much time you want to take home. So when people call me and ask me how often can I go home, my thing is you can go home however much you can afford to go home, and that's just a true statement. It's all about you. As long as your truck payment is paid and your bills are paid and everything's and you don't go in the negative, you only have to pull one load a month, and that's just strictly for human resources. So you stay on the books of as a driver with Swift. If not, then you have to come in as a new hire again. Other than
yep.
that, you can do one load a month if you want to. Be home all the time. As long as those payments
The
are paid, they don't care.
Yep. On that, it's also I noticed like last week I wanted it's like I want to go out to the West Coast. I want a long load, so I was up in the Northeast and up in Wisconsin, and I just sent a message into a planner: do we have anything going out west? It wasn't. I didn't get a message or anything back, but about half hour later, ping, pick up the day. It was. I ended up doing not quite a 34-hour, but it was a little bit longer. No, they sent me a short load to get to Michigan, and then they sent me Michigan out to Utah. So you can, if you're not getting the routes you want, it's like after this home time, I'm going to send a message in on uh, Sunday asking for another West Coast load. I'm going to try to see if we can start getting set up where I can run uh, Midwest to West Coast because I know we can get loads out. Obviously, I have loads going there, so I'm starting to get a little more proactive on requesting areas that I want to go to that are going to give me the miles where I want instead of just accepting every little the load, because I think I made a mistake early on accepting little loads. So I see a lot of shorter loads since my beginning, because I was accepting them. Okay, he likes running these, so we're going to keep sending it in. Where I like a little bit longer loads. So you just got to train them that no, I kind of want to run a little bit longer, and you just kind of got to train them the way you want to run.
So Trucker Q says he finds it a lot easier to chase revenue rather than miles, work harder,
Yes.
harder and harder. That's a true statement in a lot of ways. That's why this percentage load board really makes a lot of sense.
Chase dollars, not miles.
And it depends on how well this load board is populated. And obviously, I don't think the population is going to be the issue. It's just the inconsistency of the pay on each side. So here, he made another comment too that I really want to go over here. You don't always have to run a 34-hour week. You can run recaps. That's where you make your money. The more that truck moves, the more you make. So let me make a comment on that, and then you guys can make yours. Trucker Q, the recap thing works really well for you because you run reefer. That's an awesome plan with reefer. But with what I do, it does not make sense. It makes sense for me to do a 34-hour reset with the recap, or not recaps, because I got to run my clock out every day to make my deliveries because I'm on the dedicated. So it doesn't always work in all situations, but in Swift, in most cases over here, I have done recaps before, but I found you make more money running your clock out. Now, you guys put your spiel in.
Being OTR, I've kind of there's it's a hit and miss for me. There's times where I can have a full clock and I will have a small week, but then when I hit my recaps, I have a really good week. So it's a hit and miss. With you being dedicated, yeah, I can understand, like you were saying, doing a 34 every week. For somebody for OTR, it all just kind of depends. Kind of thing. It's a hit and miss.
Yeah, the recap, they will plan you really well on the recap, but you're going to, in my experience, and I think this is kind of why I was getting a lot of shorter loads, because my first about month and a half, almost 2 months, I was strictly running recap, and it was kind of nice. You run 8 hours, 8.5 hours a day, you shut down, you get a nice break until, but to run recap here, you almost need to be able to start running at midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. You're shutting down early. You're getting longer breaks, but you're also getting shorter loads. I was getting a lot of my short loads on recap because planners, you're only going to work 8 hours a day, so they don't seem to be as inclined to send you that 900,000 mile load, because a lot of those longer loads can't be run on recap. You need to run a little bit more than what you'd run on the recap. So I have noticed that I'm getting a little bit longer loads now that I'm running on resets.
So Alex, that's Michelle's number that's scrolling at the bottom. Write it down. I'm gonna put my number back up.
Unless you're from West Coast, if you're from the West Coast, they have 2 different recruiters. But I'm assuming the majority of your viewers on here are all out there on the East Coast. So
well, James has a rapport with Michelle, and
yeah.
All of his guys go through Michelle, and she is really good.
Oh yeah, no, I've talked to her before. She's really good.
Yeah, he says that's understandable. Yeah, it works really well with reefer, but it just depends on what you do over here. But I have found that running your clock out, trust me, I hate doing a 34 more than anybody you can even imagine, especially not at home. But you make more money running your clock out over here.
I like my resets.
Trust me, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but if there's a way to do something to figure out a way to make more money, I've tried it. I have experimented with recaps. I've experimented with running your clock out. I've experimented running 58 miles an hour all the way up to 70 miles an hour at every increment along the way, 61, 62. I have experimented every single which way. Again, it all depends on what truck you had. If you have a Volvo, 60 to 62 is absolutely the sweet spot for a Volvo. The Kenworth sweet spot, 64, 65, 66. I don't know about the Freightliner. That would be a question for Mike. I would imagine probably 65.
About 65, yeah. It's 60. Yeah, 65. I get my best fuel economy. I start pushing about 67 to 70, and even though I run that, my fuel economy, I can push 9 miles per gallon if I stay between 62 and 65. It'll drop down to 7 to 8, depending on the hills I'm running. When I start pushing much over about 65.
Oh, I'll tell you guys another secret too. Like I said, I've experimented with everything, and I think Trey, he made a comment here a minute. I'll read it. You can agree with me. If you don't get an answer you like with one planner, or they say they don't have anything, hang the phone up, call the next planner. Keep calling until you get what you want. Guys, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. You are here for yourself. You're running your business. Do not sit and wait for loads. Call till you get something. And if it's just a couple 100-mile load to get you to the next day, take it. But just keep calling until you get something. They won't call you. You need to call them. I promise you. 22 and 23, when freight was bad, buddy, I would make 15 calls in a day just till I got a load to keep me moving. I think that's one of the reasons why I was so good at it. I made a lot of money in the worst market at Swift. And I'll repeat that 1,000 times. I made really good money at Swift in the worst trucking market because I was very persistent. And like we talked about earlier, they do keep notes on you. Trust me. There are several planners here that know who I am. They might not have ever met me, but they know that I will run just about anything that they give me. Shit, I'm going to Jersey this weekend. I never go to Jersey, but I'm doing it as a favor. I know getting in Jersey is not that bad on the weekend, but I'm doing it as a favor to my my driver leader. He takes care of me so well that sometimes you got to get shit on the back end to help them out too, and that's how you. That's how you get to be somewhere here. You do what you got to do to help them out, and they help you out. That's enough of my rant. But I've experimented with just about everything. Again, my number's at the bottom. You know, Bill's called me today, asked for suggestions. I know Aaron, we've talked several times, and I've tried to help you out with certain things. Mike, same thing. You know, guys. I mean, my number's down at the bottom. I'm here to help you guys now. If I don't answer, that's probably because I talk to 20 to 30 people a day. I really honestly do. I try to help everybody out that I possibly can. Aaron, we lost you, buddy. I hope you come back.
You're cutting out there, Jim.
Yeah, you're cutting out on your end.
That's funny because you went out. Now Mike's out. That's weird.
Yeah, me and...
All right.
I'm gonna have to call it here. I need to go find a restroom, and I have not gotten dinner yet. We're going on an hour and a half, so I think I'm gonna need to call it.
All right, Aaron, you're welcome to stay if you want. I'm gonna keep going it's up to you.
I'm probably gonna call it too, so I can make my dinner. I got some eggs and sausage I need to cook up, and so.
Well, guys, I'll stay on here. We'll let the pussy get out of here.
Thanks for bringing us on. I think we had a really good discussion today.
Hey, I really appreciate it. I think a lot of guys are going to get a lot of value out of this. I appreciate you guys coming in. It was a good discussion. You guys that are still on here, hang with me. We'll talk a little bit more for a while. I've got nothing going on. So, hey, guys, thank you again. You all have a great evening, okay?
Y'all have a great evening. If you're running tonight, stay safe. If you're running up in the north side where those extremely cold temperatures are coming down, stay warm, stay safe, and keep the sunny side up.
Yep.
Aaron, keep in touch, buddy. See you later.
All
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys. Let's get back to these comments here. I'm sorry about that. Trey says, dang, you guys are still on. Had a friend call me. so I had to step away from line. Yeah, it's all good, man. I decided to stick with it. We let the wimps out of here. I'm a long hauler. Nick says, I'll let you know about the Peterbilt in a week or so. Yeah, it's fun because I'm actually, we're going to talk about that because you're going to be one of the only guys that I know that has a Peterbilt. I know Craig just got one, but you're going to come on to the live and we're going to talk about yours because yours is special. You need to come up with a good name for it. And actually, you know what? I got a good name that you can use. When we talk tomorrow, I got a good name for your truck. My DM will be finding me loads when I have only 6 hours on my 70 for delivery the same day. Yeah, that's a good DM, and mine's the same way too. We try to maximize the clock as much as we can, or we position ourselves for that 34 to get it started as quickly as possible to start running, 34 hours from then. I'm the two guys that were on. I don't know about Aaron, but Mike was on here. A lot of these guys, and this goes for probably 95% of the truckers that are out here, they're solar powered, and they lose a lot of good loads when you limit yourself to only running days, and that's one of the reasons. And I've talked to Mike about it. He has his own reasons, but when you limit yourself on your hours, then you limit yourself on the money. And that's one of the reasons, and I don't think he's struggling by any means, but he could obviously, make an extra $500 to $1,000 a week if he would maximize his hours. And we've talked about it. He knows it. I'm not saying anything behind him. So Trucker Q says, I don't know how he'd be doing that. I don't know what we're talking about there. I'm sorry, Trucker. Must be local. Oh, you're talking about the guy that goes home? Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know that. I told him today that's going to be a tough thing. Trey says, and yeah, it's been an adjustment here. I've always ran recaps, and now I'm seeing it's best to run the clock out. Yeah, Trey, I got to tell you, man, for the 4 years that I've been here off and on, I have played with it so many different ways. I don't think the recaps work well here unless you're doing reefer. So here's a new one. I am Wax. Went from company with Swift making 1,000 to 1,400 take home every week to making 0 to 500 weekly as an owner. Doing reefer out of Lancaster. I'm not saying it's bad, but it just works. Hey, I am Wax. My phone number's scrolling down there at the bottom. Give me a call. I'll go over stuff with you, and we'll figure out why you ain't making money. I think I can help you out. And the first thing that I'm going to tell you is get out of reefer. I think that's one of your issues. But if you want to take the time out to call me tomorrow, I'll be more than happy to look at it, and I'll give you my 2 cents. And Jonah makes a good comment here. Like and subscribe. Yeah, guys, please like and subscribe these videos, man. And I say we because it's collective between all the guests that I bring on here. It's not just me. This is my channel, obviously, but we, as all of us that provide this content, we do it for a purpose, and that's to help the Swift guys out. And if it helps other drivers out in other ways, that's fine too, because I know my health insurance guy, he collects a lot of guys from other companies too. And the ES Advantage fuel card, that's another one. It don't matter what company you work for, but our primary goal is to help other drivers out. That was the whole reason I started this channel, a couple years ago. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. Sounds good. And okay, LOL. Okay, Nick, I got you a great name, buddy. Trust me, there's a lot of short hauls. Just become a contractor and they'll offer them all to you. Yep. There's a lot of short hauls. I know a lot of guys that stay in Texas too, and they do pretty decent. I love running nights, less traffic, and open road. Buddy Nick, I am a nighttime connoisseur. I love it. My only problem is with night times, right around 5 to 7 a.m., I get sleepy. I don't care if I've been driving for 10 hours or I don't care if I've been driving for 1 hour. At 5 o'clock to 7, I'm ready to go to bed. That transition, I call it the witching hour. That transition from day to night, or night to day actually, just drives me bonkers. I called recruiting and they won't allow me to have a Python on the trunk, only my Parrot, because they say it's a lab. Yeah, I kind of had that feeling, but I just didn't know that answer, Havoc. Did not know that. I didn't know if you were actually being serious about it, but obviously you are. Half my experience is hauling reefer trailers, and reefer, your hours are all over the place. Absolutely. That's why I don't like reefer. So I don't mind running anytime. Yeah, I don't mind running anytime either, but I don't want to do reefer because I don't like those stupid appointment times at 1 and 2 a.m. and then the next day you might have one at 9 p.m. and then the next day you might have one at 1 a.m. There's just so many off times and you never really get any good sleep. I am Wax. I'm over at a different company now. Minimum pay guarantee. It's a lot easier, especially if it's a slow week. If Swift offered that, I would have stayed. I missed the company, but it wasn't worth the headache. Yeah, IMAX or iWax. I mean, if you decide you want to come back, yeah, get a hold of me, man, and I can make sure you make money. That's for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't do reefer at a mega carrier unless it's a mega carrier that specializes in reefer, unless it's dedicated. Last I was told, dedicated reefer accounts here at Swift are full. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. If you're gonna do reefer, you need to do it at a carrier that specializes in it. It's like, you don't go to a steakhouse to get fish, just like you don't go to a fish house to get steak. It's kind of the same thing. You want to go what their specialty is. Nick Barker, yeah, that time usually hits me also. Yesterday, I-30 West in Texas was a shit show. I didn't know what was going on. Just sit for an hour and then drive a little and then sit an hour again. Yeah, I hate that crap. Absolutely hate that too. Reefer with Swift isn't bad. It was great in my opinion. Great miles, a lot of detention pay and layover pay. In my book, detention pay and layover pay, if they're paying it, it's not really worth it in my books. I'd rather get the miles. It's just not worth the money to sit. And not only that, my body does not allow me to sit because I get tired and I want to sleep. And then I'm no good to anybody. Just went reefer. You'll sleep all night and then have a pickup. Wait, yeah, that's what I was talking about. 10 hours to get loaded. And then you force yourself to sleep so you can run all night. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. I got rid of the 2 WIMPs and now we're up to 35 people. That's funny. I'm waiting on my preloaded trailer to get loaded here at Smithfield in Washington. In Virginia, and I'm headed to South Carolina. I plan on stopping by the house in North Carolina, have dinner with the wife and kids. That's always a good thing when you can go by the house. Always. Never have to do that at Joe Trey. Okay, never have to do that. Well, I got to tell you guys, what a good lab tonight. We got a lot of answers, a lot of questions answered. So it appears that the percentage pay isn't a bad deal. Still to be open for suggestion. I'll keep in contact with Dan. Obviously, he's ex law enforcement, just like me, and we talk from time to time. This is something I've been wanting to do for a couple weeks now. My last guy decided he didn't want to do it because I haven't talked to him, which is all good. And then I got Dan aboard. He's been doing it for 3 weeks now. And I think he's doing pretty good. He's figuring it out. I got a little burnout on it, so I don't want to do reefer again for a while unless it's 100% drop and hook. I'm conditioned to run anytime, but now the difference is I do it when I have to now. Now, Trey, you're running auto parts still, right? Instead of all the time. Because I think you're pretty happy where you're at now. Wax, I've done it all. LOL. Done a lot. I'm sorry. I am Wax. But yes, I am a reefer-specific company, and the miles are consistent. I haven't seen home time since September, and I've already grossed just about 30K. Okay. And that's as a company driver, too. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I don't know if I would like to stay out that long. I usually do 3 to 4 weeks. So I did a video the other night, and I think I mentioned it, but I'm actually going to go back into training here real soon. I've already made the commitment. I just got to get the proper insurance. I got to switch from my insurance back to Swift's insurance, and Obviously, got to get the camera hooked up, but yeah, I am going to go back into it. I'm going to make that extra money. I'm going to push real hard this year. I am going to work my ass off this year. Yeah, I'm impressed. 2,700 is not bad at all. That's 10 grand a month. Yep, a little bit over 10 grand, but yeah, you're right. 2,700 is pretty damn good. I think Dan's onto something. I'd like to find another person that's doing it. I'm hoping that Michael gets on it, and that way I can compare his numbers. Oh yeah, I was picking up a load, taking me up to Marysville for Monday. Okay. Yeah, I got a load that I'm picking up Marysville in the morning that's going. I don't know if you've ever done the one that goes to Fishkill, New York, but that's where I'm going. And then, like I said, I got a load that I'm picking up in Jersey. And I can't remember where the Jersey load's going, though. Hang on. Where was that Jersey load going? Jersey to Owensboro, Kentucky. So I'll be in Kentucky on Monday. But as it is, man, with the loads that I've done so far, with those loads that I'm doing this weekend, I'll be at 2,700 miles on Monday, which is freaking crazy. 2,700 miles. I'll be well over 3,000 this week, and I've never done that. So that'll be nice. Hey, Paco. Glad to have you in, buddy. And we got Brett Lucas in the house. I'm a reefer owner. They're getting more dropping hooks. That's awesome. I like dropping hooks on. I mean, that's great for the reefer guys. Absolutely great. Glad to have you in, Brett, by the way. Yes, as a company, I started September, but I passed through the house a lot more. I meant to say I haven't taken hometown. Okay. You haven't taken hometown. So you have gotten by the house. Okay. That's good. 27 take home weekly is good. I'll touch that maybe once a month. Yeah, I'm 22 to 25 is where I'm at. Average. Just driving, that is. One question: are you all able to pre-plan a few loads at the time on either side of the per mile or percentage? So on the pay per mile, I don't think you can only have the load you're on and one more load. But according to Dan, with the percentage, you can stack them up. He had 3 loads, but he said it was unlimited to his knowledge. Again, I'm only giving you what the guy that was on here earlier, Dan, but he says you can stack them up. Hey, Brett, thank you. Thank you too, buddy. I appreciate it. Glad to have new guys on here. Hey, and by the way, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. We try to do these lives usually on Thursday nights, but I had Michelle and Steven on last night, the health insurance guy. I've been planning to do this load board video for a while, so we finally got it done tonight. And some good information. If you didn't catch it at the beginning, go back and watch the beginning. We got some really good information on that percentage board. I was going to be good, but the last load was a disaster, so I lost a day because of it. Trying to be a good team player, yeah, and I've gotten more to that situation of being a good team player too, because it really helps out in the long run. Even if you do get screwed out of being a team player and you don't get something on the back end, eventually it will come. It just happened not to come from, because I've helped a planner out before and gotten screwed and didn't get nothing out of it. But in the long run, on another side or another planner, it's been different. Yes, Reefer has a lot of dropping hooks, and Swift as a recent. When I started with Swift about 2 years ago, it was a lot of live loads and unloads. Yeah, I'm not a big live load, live unload. My current company is dropping hook Reefer 90% of the time, but if I were to live unload, it's $25 an hour after 1 hour being detained. Okay. At least they give you something. I mean, I don't really like detention pay at all. I never have. Oh, man. What a night, guys. What a great video. If anybody, if you haven't, I'm going to read it. I'm say it again. Please, like the video and subscribe. I try to do good stuff all the time to help guys out. Yes, I do recruit. Yes, I do get paid to bring recruits in. Yes, I help everybody out. Not everybody I get paid on, which is fine. I'll help anybody out. I've made comments to several guys on here tonight. Said, call me up. I'll be more than happy to help you, and we'll figure out where you're going wrong. I'll help anybody out. But just wanted to put that out there. Everybody always seems to think that I don't never help the guys out that I don't get paid on, which is total crap. I do. I help everybody out. I try to. Some people you can't help, but I try to help everybody. Some people have their own ideas on how to do things. How is Dropbox for owner ops? And do they have a load board? Thank you. Yeah, they have a load board. They've got two. They got two separate load boards, one for the percentage side, one for the dollar rate per mile side. Dropbox is good. I personally, I don't know what's going on right now on the regular drive van because I don't have access to the load boards. That's one of the reasons why I had to bring the two guys on tonight. I'm on strictly dedicated, and what I'm doing is good all year round, and I'm staying on it. But as far as I know, it's all good. I'll always say it. I do wish the craft account takes owner operators. That's one of Swift's top dedicated reefer accounts. Okay. I don't really know anything about that one. Where's the craft account based out of? What area? The craft East Coast fleet don't have appointment times. They're drop and hook, basically a shuttle driver. Now, that would be awesome. That's an awesome account then. Hopefully 3,000 miles a week, I would imagine. Oh, man. They have West Coast fleet and an East Coast fleet, but the account is out of Chicago. Okay. So Alex says, who would I have to contact? I'm out of El Paso terminal to go to percentage based. I got to tell you, Alex, I don't really know that answer. That's a good question. I guess if anything, you can call Michelle, the recruiter, and ask her. I know you're already here, but I don't know. I really honestly don't know that answer. And I don't think Dan or the other guys would know that answer either, other than just calling Michelle. Somebody popped in, said, great show this evening. Great guest drivers. We appreciate every one of you, the Fly Rabbit family. I'm going to bed now. Like, subscribe, and share. Absolutely. Thanks, honey. I'll talk to you in the morning. I hope the fire pit was warm and nice tonight because I'm dealing with 31 degrees and you're probably dealing with maybe 60. What are you dealing with? Yeah, exactly 60 degrees and you got a fire pit out when I could use a fire pit here. Trey says, El Paso's one dusty place. I always got swept away in a dust storm last time I was there. You know, I got to tell you a funny story. So I went to, and I haven't been out west in several years, but I went to Salt Lake City this past weekend and went through Wyoming. And as you all know, I've got me a dog on the truck now. He's 13 years old. We got out. I let him get out to take a piss. And when I got out of the truck, the wind was blowing, and it was 60, 70 mile per hour winds. The wind was blowing so strong. I swear to you guys, it about blew me down on the ground. I know my dog was having a hard time walking too. The wind was crazy. And you got to understand, guys, I've been through some hurricane force winds before, and it didn't even compare to this shit that I dealt with out in Wyoming this past weekend. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And, and you're dealing with snow and ice too. So that didn't help. I just see myself scooting down like I'm on a skateboard or something. But, yeah, those winds were crazy. You almost got swept away. I hear you, man. There's Craig. Alex will need to call Rapid Response. They can add him to the list. There was also a sign up in the owner portal. So there you go, Alex. I didn't even know that. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it, buddy. By the way, you're gonna get your Mario Brothers on your new Peterbilt. They got that nice little mountain there in El Paso, and you can see Mexico from, literally some parts of, El Paso, like when you're on the highway, you could literally spit over into Mexico. You're that daggone close to it. It's always, I always thought it was cool to drive down I-10 through that part of Texas. I always liked that. That's a good run. New Mexico and Arizona, good drives. Actually, California's not a bad drive either. I just don't like California politics. I actually love California. I need to drive back out to California again. I haven't done it in a while. But I was surprised that we had loads that went to Salt Lake City. I told my driver leader, I said, anytime you need somebody to go out that way, I'd be more than happy to volunteer for that one because I guess nobody wants to go out there. I absolutely love that run. 1,700 miles and, about 4 days. That was nice. 3.5, 4 days. I took my time getting out there because it was a weekend load. And it wasn't going to unload till Monday anyways. But nice run. Nice run. Got a 34 out of it. Very nice run. It was 84 degrees in Salt Lake City on Sunday, too, which is crazy to me. I love that drive. That's what I'm doing when I pay my truck off, just going to Phoenix and back to Texas. Yeah, that's kind of my go-to is I want to drive from like that Jacksonville, Florida to Houston and back, something like that. If I can find a route that did that, that would make me happy. What load are you currently on, James? I am on a recycled cardboard load that's going up to, somewhere in Michigan. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's a heavy one, I'll tell you that. My next load is auto parts going from Detroit to Fishkill, New York. Not sure yet. Can't really picture Mario with the color. Yeah, that's one thing that I was thinking too, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want a dark red truck. I don't think it would go good with my logo either. Yeah, I was really surprised to hear that you got rid of your Peterbilt. Kalamazoo SP. I don't know what the SP is, darling. But yeah, I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Actually, I'm in, what's the city next to Kalamazoo? Where am I at? Not quite to Kalamazoo, but I'm going to Kalamazoo. I am in Battle Creek, Michigan, but I am going to Kalamazoo. Bro, that GPI in Kalamazoo, Michigan is a clown show. I almost got stuck there getting it empty last week. Yeah, Tommy's already warned me about that place, and yeah, that's where I'm going to. He's already warned me that it's a mud hole. I said, great. I'm glad my truck's not clean. Yeah, it's a paper place. You can probably go with the Mario theme for a dark red. Okay. There you go, Craig. Yes, it's definitely the paper place. All recycled. It amazes me, that they haul this recycled crap, from, not southern Indiana, central Indiana up to Michigan. And I've taken them longer than that before, actually. It's crazy to me. Do owner op, mentors, and or train? Yes, that's what I'm going back to do. I'm going back to owner op mentor. That's very good money to do that. I had to use the snow for traction to get out. Yeah. I hear you, man. I'm hoping I don't get stuck tomorrow. I could have delivered this tonight, but I was pushing my clock and I wanted to stop and do the show tonight. Wanted to be on time. I stopped about an hour in. By the way, for my Buccaneers fans, I know there was one or two last night. Prime just came out. Amazon Prime just came out with a history of the Buccaneers, and it's on there. It's free. There's like 6 or 7 episodes, which really I'm surprised they had that many. But I'm in the 2nd or 3rd episode. It's actually pretty interesting. I knew most of the stuff anyways, but it's nice watching the history of the team and stuff. Let's see how many of my drivers are driving right now. I'm curious. We'll do a countdown, see how many are driving. So there's one guy driving, 2 guys driving. I got 2 guys driving out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I got 2 drivers out of 13 that are driving right now that are on my 360 board. Not all of them are on the board, but Trucker Q, that was a tough loss for the Buck. Yes, it was, man. I was so so upset about that. Tampa Pro Sports was on fire from 19 to 22. Yeah, they got a lot of championships out of that year. Not a big Tom Brady fan. I've always said that. I've never have been, but I was glad that he came and brought us the Super Bowl. I was thankful for that. My wife can attest to this. Baker Mayfield was always my pick way before they even decided to get Brady. I told her when he was playing for Cleveland, I saw that arm that he had, and he just didn't have the right team. And unfortunately, the Buccaneers right now, we got a lot of injuries, guys. This was Mike Evans' first game to come back. It's going to be his first season. I think he's got 11 years with 1,000 yards. This is going to be the first year that he's not going to have it. He's always had it the whole time he's been in the NFL. He's been out for several weeks. We just got a lot of guys out. Now, Abuka has stepped up and really, done very well. Godwin's still out. Man, if we had all of our players, and we're still not completely out of the mix. We can still get in and to the playoffs, and we just got to win our division. And right now, I think Carolina's got us beat by one game or something, but we could easily change that around. But they've got to win every game after this, and I think we played Carolina twice, and then we got God, I can't remember the team that we play in between. We got Carolina next week, and then we got the next team, and then we got Carolina the week after that. So if we could beat Carolina both times, I think we could secure the our conference and get in, as conference winners. And we'll sponsor the wild card team at home. That'll be nice. But I know Trey has a lot of football knowledge too. We talk about it all the time. What's up, Ghost Rider? How you doing tonight, Chris? Glad you came in, buddy. Appreciate it. He says the Browns have bad luck. I remember they went 1-15 and then went 0-16 back to back to get Baker. Yeah, I remember that too. Just be patient with the Browns. They're not going to do much this year. I don't think Shadur Sanders is going to stay in Cleveland. My opinion is I think they're going to try and trade him on the offseason. And it really depends on how well he does. But for whatever reason, they are locked in with Deshaun Watson. Not only are they locked in with him on money, but I think they still believe in Deshaun Watson. Me personally, I think he's been out of football for so long now that I think he's going to be a dud. He's just going to be like Michael Vick when Michael Vick went out for a while. He really never was what he was before. And this is going to be the same thing with Deshaun Watson too. But they still believe in him for some reason. After everything that he's been through, they still believe in him. But Shadur Sanders, mark my word, he'll go to Dallas. I really believe that. I think Dak Prescott, I think his days are numbered. If they don't have a good season this year, I think they'll try to get rid of Dak. I know he signed a big contract too, but there'll be some maneuvering done there. And you watch, his daddy will get him into the Cowboys somehow. I really believe that. I said that from day one. Mark this down. See if it happens. That goes for you, Trey. I think they just don't want to pay him to leave, but Watson is, he is not the same player, agree. But you mark my word, Sanders will go to the Dallas Cowboys. He'll be their quarterback in the near future. And I'm going to say that just like I predicted Indiana beating Ohio State this past weekend too. I knew that was going to happen. I told my wife and father-in-law that was going to happen. And I told them at the beginning of the season, Ohio State's going to have problems with Indiana this year with that new coach. That new coach is badass. I'd be surprised if he sticks around in Indiana, to be honest with you. The Browns probably don't want to play Watson to play somewhere else because of the contract. It wasn't a bad contract at the time, but then the controversy happened. I think it was a shit contract. I mean, it was a good contract for him, obviously, but I think that was pure stupidity, in my opinion. I don't think Deshaun was ever that good of a quarterback. I mean, he was okay, but he was never that good. What are your thoughts on the Colts snubbing Cam Newton and signing old man Phillip Rivers? Snubbing Cam Newton. I don't think I've heard about that yet. I know the Phillip Rivers thing, but Cam Newton's going to the Colts. Is that right? Trucker Q, I haven't heard that one yet. That's news on me. That must have just happened in the last couple of days. Cam Newton, he's been out of the league for a while now, at least 5-6 years. Phillip Rivers, at least he played a couple years ago. That's interesting. Oh, they didn't sign Cam Newton? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I see what you're saying. They snubbed Cam Newton. Yeah, I don't think Cam Newton would be an answer. I think Rivers is the better option. He was on his way, almost got the Texans to the Super Bowl that one year. Yeah, they did make the playoffs that one year, but I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, in my opinion. Yeah, they chose Phillip over Cam Newton. Yeah, I would have too. Cam Newton, he's probably older than Phillip Rivers, isn't he? I mean, I don't know for sure. They're pretty close to the same age. I still would have taken Phillip Rivers over him. Phillip Rivers reminds me of Dan Marino in a lot of ways. They're about the same size, the same build, and neither one of them ever won a Super Bowl. They were both pretty deep. Well, Dan Marino was awesome. There's just no doubt about that. He just never had the team. Phillip Rivers was pretty decent, but the two of them remind me a lot of each other in a lot of ways. So what do you think about that comparison, Trey? Phillip Rivers is 44 years old, hadn't played in 5 years. Cam Newton is 34. Really? I didn't realize that big of a difference. Wow. Well, I don't think Cam Newton's played in at least 5 years either, has he? Guys, I could talk football all night with you guys. I really could. Cam was a gifted physically, but not anymore. Phil is smarter. Yep, IQ-wise. Yeah, I agree with you. Cam Newton, and like I said, I was just watching this Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The very first moving quarterback, like Cam Newton, was kind of a maneuverable quarterback. Then you had Steve McNair, but the very first one was Steve Young. When he played for the Buccaneers, they didn't know how to handle him because he would maneuver every which way. And I actually had forgotten about that. But now you got a lot of quarterbacks that are movers and shakers. So Cam's 36, okay. But I'd forgotten all about Steve Young. I really did. He came in after the Doug Williams era, and Doug Williams went to the Washington Redskins. He ended up winning the Super Bowl for the Redskins that year. It was 85, I think. 1985, 86, something like that. I think that was the Super Bowl that was in San Diego, and I think that's the one that my dad went to years and years ago. Somewhere I've got that Super Bowl hat with the Redskins. I think we lost all of our people because we're talking sports now. We're down to 14. When a quarterback gets old, the mobile quarterback starts to go away, but the pocket quarterback relies on the IQ. As long as their arm is still strong, you can't go wrong compared to trying to get older mobile quarterback. So that's kind of at the point to where we're at with Lamar Jackson. He's a good running quarterback, but he's starting to get a little bit of age on him, and that's why he's getting hurt. And same thing, like you said, Russell Wilson, same thing. He has to change his game. Yep. You're exactly right. And, it's funny as you brought that up because, like I said, Lamar is kind of getting to that point, too, to where he's going to have to change his game out if he wants to be competitive. Any changes you plan on doing? Yep, I'm going to start training here in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be my big goal. I've got a number go in my mind, what I want to gross this coming year. I don't really want to talk about it on here, but it's a very big number, and it's a very possible number, but it's a very big number, and I'm going to sure try to hard to do it. Speaking of which, Nat, you brought that up. I don't usually do videos about my weeks and stuff for purposes. I don't really like putting my numbers out there. I am going to do one the week that I'm in right now. I'm probably going to do it Thursday or Friday, maybe Saturday, the weekend. Once this week completes on Wednesday and I get all my final numbers on Thursday, I am going to cut a video. I'm going to break everything down. I'm going to break truck payment. By then I should have the new truck insurance. I'm going to break everything down to you guys completely. That way everybody always wants to know what you can make. And this is an average week that I'm in too. I don't know if I've got a referral coming in or not, but I can just minus that. But everything so far is coming out to where it's going to be a decent week. And I can actually break the numbers down with this coming week because I've got nothing else that's coming out that doesn't make sense. So look forward to that by next weekend. 2026 is going to be my year to save and cut down my monthly cost of living. Yeah, we kind of got the same thing too. My goal is to put as much money in the bank as I possibly can. And I got a few things I want to pay off. I got my car. I want to get it finally paid off. I've got it down to, we bought it brand new, but I've got it down to right at about $5,000 or $6,000. That bitch is getting paid off. My father-in-law, we're going to pay his car off. I mean, we're somewhere around the 25 grand mark on that one. I'm going to try and get that bitch paid off. And several other little things. I'm going to try and get as debt free as I possibly can. But yeah, I've got big plans too, Trucker Q. Very big plans. And somehow or another they're going to come the way. Sorry, somebody text me. What do you guys want to talk about? We got 17 in the house. I want to appreciate everybody coming in tonight. We've actually had some good discussions. We kind of veered off on the football thing. I always like talking football. Yeah, basketball coming up. I'm not a big pro guy, but I'm definitely a college basketball guy. If anybody ever wants to talk some college hoops, I'm starting to get back into the pro. When it gets closer to playoffs, I will. Yeah, I'm going to be saving on and buying my dream pickup truck. Yeah, it's funny you say that. My goal, one of the things that I want to do is, like I said, I want to pay the 2 cars off, but I want to get a little 2-seater convertible for me and the wife to kind of ride around in. I really want. So you want a Ram 2500 diesel manual. So that's going to be a Cummins, obviously. I want to get like a little 370Z convertible is what I want to get. Not a brand new one, 10 years old, something like that. I want to get something that we can have fun to ride around in. And I think that's what I'm looking at. Or, maybe a little Mercedes or BMW convertible, something like that. Something that I can get, for under, 10 grand, 15 grand at the most. I'm probably about to move my truck. This night yard is getting full, Lebanon, Tennessee. I've actually been at that night yard before. I wasn't aware that we could even park there. Any advice how to stabilize my blood pressure? I go to any doctor, it jumps to 150/97. After I come home, it goes down to 110. Yeah, it's called white coat syndrome. If you're trying to get your blood pressure, get your CDL, when you go into the doctor's office, tell them you got white coat syndrome, and they will sit you there if you don't pass it the first time, because you have like 2 hours to get your blood pressure down. So tell them to turn the lights off and just lay there for a half hour and tell them to come back in and take it again. You should be okay. It happens to all of us. My uncle is going to order a new Ram 2500. I got to tell you guys, if I was in the truck market, I think I would go the Ram. I'd go the Ram way too. And I got to tell you guys, that new Ram 6-pack motor is the way to go, I believe. I don't know if I can. I had the T-call here, but I'm going to the truck stop instead. So there's that one truck stop across from the QT. It's a little mom and pop place. That's an awesome place to eat breakfast in the morning, Trey, just to let you know, there in Lebanon. Well, James, nice live tonight. I'm about to head out. Y'all have a good night. Thanks, Trucker Q. I appreciate it. Okay, baby? I appreciate all you guys. And Hakeem, long-time watcher, first-time chatter. I'm in my third week at Swift Academy. How quickly should I move over from company to owner-operator? Well, you gotta have at least 6 months in minimum. They want 9 months, but if you're already at Swift, they'll bring you in at 6. When that time comes, make sure you deal with Michelle to get you a truck, if you would. Better yet, call me and I'll put you in with Michelle, and I'll help you out too. Hakeem, save about 20 grand before you do that. Everybody always says that. I don't think you have to anymore. Swift makes it pretty easy. You know that, Trey. We were all broke when we started. I was. You're getting in it at the right time, that's for sure, because I think it's only going to go up. Only going to go up. All right, guys, we'll go about another 15, 20 minutes if you want, and then I am going to get off here and hit the sack. So if you guys got anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. It has been a great live tonight. Probably one of the best ones we've had in a long time. They're all good. They're all educational, but this one was really nice. Appreciate the guest that we had on to help us out. So now it's time to have a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. I know, but it creates a good habit. If you can't save as a company, I don't recommend being owner. Yeah, you're right to a sense, but my thing is jump in and make it work. That's what I did. I didn't have shit when I started this. Matter of fact, the company I worked at pretty much took me for everything that I had with a beat down truck. I didn't really have much of a choice. I had to jump in because I didn't want to give up trucking. I did this back in 2015 with the company that went under, and I went under. I went bankrupt. Got out of it for about 5-6 years and went right back into it because I knew the money was coming. I positioned myself really good, actually. Was a company driver for about a year with FedEx and positioned myself really good to go into this owner-operator thing. My guys at FedEx, my bosses that I work for, they told me I was making a big mistake. I have quadrupled what I would have made at FedEx doing this. Every year, quadrupled what I would have made there. Maybe not quadrupled, but definitely tripled. And Trey, I know you probably have too. Thanks. You've been proving some good information throughout all these videos. I'll be out of the Lewiston terminal. Looking forward to connecting with you once I'm ready. Hakeem, you can. I'm assuming Hakeem's your name. You can feel free to call me anytime, brother. Be more than happy to help out. Hey, thanks, Craig. I appreciate it. Great show tonight. I just had Peterbilt. Hell, what was his name? I can't remember what he went by up here. Where are you at? Nick Barker. I couldn't remember if you used your name on here or not. Nick Barker just texted me and told me great show too. Also, just practice being an owner operator as a company driver first, like I did. James can give you some numbers, and Michelle can also, so you can practice. James is a good resource to have. He's actually doing it here. I try. I appreciate it, Trey. I really do. And Trey is actually right. Feel like you were an owner operator if you're able to. Oh, man. Trey says, like, track your MPGs, look for those fuel receipts, punch the numbers, etc. Look at your miles and do the calculations and see how well you do. Yep. Sorry, guys. Man. Got to get some coffee to go with the peanut butter. You go get your peanut butter and coffee, buddy. Thanks, James and Trey. Hey, no problem, Hakeem. Like I said, write my number down. Feel free to call me anytime, bud. I'll give you what knowledge that I have. I'll give it to anybody. James and Michelle have more information about the type of leases than I do. Well, she's the one with the leases. I know a few. I'm referring to your okay. So you're going to get some coffee because I'm eating the peanut butter. I got you. Trey says, but I'm going to take off. Good night, guys. Stay safe. Yeah, I think I'm getting off too, guys. Got 16 people on here. I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk next week. Thanks for coming in. Had a great live. And like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good night, guys. Thanks, everyone.